think it's good. All right. We are now back in open session. Moving to item number 5, the council will discuss and possibly approve intergovernmental agreements with the village of Port Edwards and the town of Saratoga to provide ambulance services to those municipalities. So as for some background, and then I'll allow city staff to chime in and certainly council members if you wish to share. In closed session, the city council considered 2 agreements with the municipalities that have been identified. The terms have been set forth and subsequently discussed and approved by the respective municipalities. So tonight, a contract has been put together, and so I would entertain any additional discussion or a motion from council on how they wish to proceed with the 2 emergency services agreements.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed agreements for the city to provide emergency ambulance services to the village of Port Edwards and town of Saratoga with the following changes. Adding in an additional 4 years to the agreement upon mutual agreement of the parties. Provided notices given by July 15th, 2019 by both parties that they wish to. The fees will increase 25 cents per capita in each of these successive 4 years, further authorizing that non-substantive changes may be made to the agreement in advance of the execution of the agreement by the mayor.
All right, we've got a motion by Zerflu. Is there a second? Second by Dolan. Thank you. We'll move into discussion. Council members, any desire to make any comment? Or I guess the only comment that I would add is I appreciate the opportunity to provide a great service that we've been providing our residents to additional residents in our area. I think it's a great gesture for intergovernmental cooperation and kind of a willingness to work together in the region. We've got the capacity and the staff and the equipment to be able to do this, and so I appreciate the ability for the city to provide that service. Anybody else wish to speak? Seeing no request to speak, please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 8 ayes, 0 nays.
Item number 6 tonight is the council will discuss and possibly approve entering into an agreement for design and engineering services for an aquatics facility, splash pads, and park improvements. As some background to this item, the city has held had posted a request for proposals for firms. We had received proposals from 4 firms, which the city had conducted interviews to narrow the proposers down. In discussion and conducting reference checks and a comparison of capabilities, the city had made a recommendation to award to the contract MSA Professional Services. This will encompass all the design and work that will be necessary to ultimately construct any park improvements, splash pad facilities that have been identified for Mead Field and the Mead Park facility, as well as the identified outdoor regional aquatic center scale that had been identified for Whitterfield. As a financing note, the costs to fund the design services would be accrued and then ultimately funded through any borrowing that the city might do to finance a facility such as this. So obviously there isn't a budget within the tax levy of the budget we just approved, but that would come out of the proceeds of any financing that would occur at a later date. So that's my sort of opening. Are there any requests to speak or willingness to make a motion?
Make a motion to authorize the Public Works Director to negotiate a contract with MSA Professional Services for design, engineering, bidding documents, construction administration for an aquatic facility and park plan improvements at Whitterfield, and splash pad and park plan improvements at Mead Field consistent with the city's request for proposal, and MSA's fee proposal authorizing the mayor to execute the contract with MSA in a form approved by the Public Works Director and the city attorney.
We have a motion by Coth and a second by Rayom. Any requests to speak? Alderperson Stack, you're first.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Tom knows, the city has looked at different things through a number of years, and I believe the city residents will enjoy this addition to the city, and the splash pad on the west side, and that those who may come in from outside the community will also find enjoyment with it. Happy to see the city moving forward on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderperson Rayom, you're next. Oh, okay. I would certainly echo Mr. Stack's comments. You know, I think at our last discussions on this as a full body, we had felt like we'd been here before. I think this is another important step that we haven't maybe taken yet, and that's the securing the ultimate design for a facility. So while we haven't borrowed the money or secured the financing yet to ultimately construct a facility, this is a critical step to securing additional donations from the community and support from folks, as well as telling the story of what the facility might ultimately become for our residents and for our visitors. So I think it's certainly a necessary step if we're going to achieve an aquatics facility or even splash pad development in the city. Alderperson Ferkey, you're next.
So with the outdoor aquatics at Winterfield, I want the public to know that he's generating some additional income at the aquatic center, making it more of a year-round destination rather than just the aquatics. Other buildings, other activities will be incorporated into that design, and just with the initial plans that we've seen or ideas that have been presented, I think the city residents are going to be extremely impressed.
Thank you. Alderperson Rayom, you're next.
I will this time. After many years of this coming and going and trying to get it jump-started, at least take a good look at an aquatic center for the city, as the pools were closed, and the pool that we took out a couple years ago had to keep it, getting fixed to keep it running, and it became too expensive and impossible to keep running. We finally took the step that we had to have something for the people, for the kids, and adults, to do it. And I think at the end, I'm hoping, I really think it's going to happen, we're going to have something that this community, this area, and the region are really going to like. They're going to come to. Hopefully there are things that they can use year-round. Hopefully there are walking trails, shelters, enclosed shelters maybe, not all of them. I hope we have a wonderful ending to this project at Witter and Mead. It's been a long road, many years, trying to get this project started up and up and up. Maybe it was a good thing that it didn't start 15, 20 years ago. Because maybe about forced to be waiting, we came up with something a lot better. Well, it would be a lot better because we waited, but so I'm just waiting until we're done and get started, waiting for the splash pads and then the aquatic center. So that's all I got to say. I can't wait.
Thank you, Alderperson Rayom, for that. Any further requests to speak? Mr. Terry.
I'd just like to make a quick comment as a staff member. I'm extremely excited about this project. I think it shows some foresight and vision for our community as an amenity that will ultimately improve the quality of life within our community and surrounding area, be a destination feature, and ultimately also assist in economic development and with some of the companies as they work to find high-level staff and staff. We have internal staff that will complement this design, and we have staff with the know-how and the vision to be able to evaluate and critique our consulting engineers' design to ensure that structurally and operationally we're going to have a really excellent facility, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Any further requests to speak? See no further requests to speak. We have a motion on the floor. Please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 8 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you for that. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Got a motion by Zerflu. Is there a second? Second by Dolan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Stand adjourned. Thank you.